Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. This is going to be a bit of a chatty get ready with me. Let's get ready together. I'm going to put on some makeup for today. I am going to be using mostly things that I'm in the process of reviewing. If you've been on my channel, you know that I usually do a first impression and then I use the stuff for about a month and then come back and I give you some final thoughts about them. And these products are going to be things that I'm in the process of reviewing. And I'm just going to get ready for the day and maybe you can get ready as well for the day. And if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I am such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I just love playing with all of it. I love playing with color. I love playing with shapes. I love having fun. So if you want to see some more makeup content on my timeline, don't forget to subscribe because I upload quite a lot of videos. Okay, I just scooched in a little bit. We are going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury's Charlotte's Beautiful Skin again. I have mine in 6N. And I am going to be using this one again. I'm in the process of trying it out. I'm using it today with a primer actually. I'm using the Hydro Grip. Look how little I have left of this one. I'm using the Hydro Grip because like I want to see how this one performs with a gripping primer. How are you doing? How are you holding up this January? I feel like January 2022 has been a bit of a like deja vu. Like it's been like, didn't we already do this? Didn't we already have this experience? And listen, I didn't even like the experience of January 2020 or January 2021. So why do you keep repeating yourself for another year? Oh Lord, but at least, listen, I'm staying positive. I do think that things are shaping up and I do think that there are more opportunities now to like at least try and do stuff if you're like fully vaccinated, which I surely hope that you are by now. You really should be, because it's not really a personal choice. You are also making a choice for everyone else, and all of these restrictions, it's because of you not getting vaccinated. So could you please just get vaccinated? I'm actually getting my booster shot on Sunday. I don't know when is this video going up. I think that when this video is going up, I already have taken it. And I am super excited about that. I'm so happy that me and my husband are able to, I mean, it's a privilege to be able to get the vaccine. There are so many people in the world that wants to get the vaccine. They're not able. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that we're able. This went on really good on top of the Milk Primer as well. I'm super excited about it. Oh, and if you're spreading any anti-vax propaganda in my comments, I will delete it. So if you're right now leaning over your keyboard to write that, don't bother. I will delete it. Just save yourself some time and put that on your own Facebook instead. Because it just won't stay in my comments, just so you know. Me and my husband have been in the US now for a month. What day is it? Listen, January of 2021 has been the longest year of my life. Holy bananas. I will say this Maybelline 30 hours, it looks really nice under the eyes, but when it goes on, it's like it's alcohol or something in it that like it like bothers my eye. Like I can tell like it's stinging my eye a little bit. Yeah. Flammable until dry. That says alcohol to you. I don't have any problems with going on though, but if you are sensitive to that, maybe that's not for you. Because like now, once it's on, I don't feel anything at all. And it looks really beautiful on me throughout the entire day. But that is not ideal. I really like this concealer. This is the 4th time I'm using it. I really like it, but I will say I don't like it as much as NYX Born to Glow. But if they are discontinuing that one, at least this one is an option. For me, it doesn't look drying under my eyes. And I mean, I just turned 38. So I would say that I am a candidate to have like a dry and like crepey under eyes. But I feel like this one is, I have some marks from my glasses here. I do wear glasses. Like I feel like I'm a candidate to have like dry and crepey eyes. And I don't think that this one gives me that. Not even after like a full day. But we have been here for a month now, and people are like, how are you doing? How are the pets doing? How are you settling in? At times, I'm like, oh my god, we're doing so good. We're like figuring stuff out. Yesterday, we managed to get to our favorite grocery store, which has been a really big HIB that's been really close to us. We managed to get there without a GPS. We were like, look at us thriving. And then sometimes I'm like, where do you post things? Like, I had to Google, I'm like, where do you post things? Like, I don't understand sometimes. So sometimes I feel like I'm so on top of things, and then sometimes I'm just so confused and I don't understand anything. Using some of my favorite powder, which is this NYX powder. Still my favorite. It's been my favorite for years. Like, how long have I been using this? 4 years? Maybe? Could be 4 years. I'm gonna powder a little more over the Charlotte Tilbury foundation today, because I want to see how this one holds up if I powder a little bit more. One thing that's been like hard for us here in the US once we've like moved here is that nobody wants our money. Like, nobody wants our money. They're like, oh, we want only US credit cards, or we want cash, which, I mean, it's a thing, and checks. When I was younger, my grandmother used to make jokes about how dated checks were. So like, checks have not even been a thing, I think, in Sweden during my lifetime. Like I said, I'm 38. So for me, I'm not saying it's bad, it's just different. For me, it's very different. Oh, I was gonna use this rare one. I keep forgetting that I'm gonna use... Oopsie. For me, it's just different that checks is a thing here, because like in Sweden, if anyone tried to pay with checks, like, people would literally look at them like they're from Mars. Like, who pays with checks? Like, it's not a thing. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just very different. And I don't even know, like, what it is. It's like, what is it? Like, a paper that says, I owe you? I promise to pay you? Exchange this paper for money. Pinky swear. Like, I don't understand checks really. And I don't understand checks over... I don't understand the hate of debit cards, because in Sweden, most places don't take cash in Sweden, and they don't take checks. Like, cash is seen as, like, it's really hard to handle cash in Sweden, and a lot of banks will take really high fees for handling cash. And I think it's like the opposite here in the US, that a lot of banks will take a lot of fees for handling debit cards. And I think that they take fees for handling debit cards in Sweden too. But I think maybe the fees for cash is even higher. But anyways, there are so many places in Sweden that just literally says we don't take cash. Like, it's a thing. They don't take cash. Like, not even the banks take cash. I know that for some people this is like weird, but most banks in Sweden don't handle cash. And personally, I don't like cash. I know for some people they're like, oh, I just use my card and then I don't know how much money I have on. I'm the opposite. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I just withdraw some cash and I don't know how much money I have, and I keep spending it and I don't know on what. I feel like when I use my debit card, I know where the money went because I can see it. But with cash, it's just like, what did I spend this on? Like, did I spend it on something important, or did I just buy snacks? It's probably just snacks, let's be honest. I really like this rare bronzer, but I will say this will 1,000,000% be too light for me when I have a tan. Like, not even like I think, but like 1,000,000%. 1,000,000% it will be too light for me when I have a tan, but I still really like the color. I have the Power Boost. So it's been really hard for me and Ricardo sometimes to pay for stuff, because it's like your money's no good here. And I realize again that it's like, we have to find ways to make it happen. But it's been tricky. It's been really tricky because in Sweden, it's like, you don't get getting a credit card in Sweden is seen as like, not a bad thing, but it's not that common that people have like, oh, I was gonna use this one, that people have credit cards. Because it's like, in Sweden, we don't have credit score. Maybe I should put it like that. If you make money and never take a loan and like just pay with the money you have, that's like, you're seen as the most like financial stable person in Sweden. But I feel like here in the US, if you pay with a credit card and pay that off each month, you're seen as the most like financially stable person. I think that is like the difference, that in Sweden, if you have never taken off a loan and you still like own things and you like pay for stuff, that is like the best place you can be at. Like, if you go to a bank and ask for a house loan and they're like, oh, we can see that you've never taken out a loan ever in your life and you have a stable income, they will literally throw like offers of like loans to you. But I feel like in the US, they're like, oh, I see you have a stable income, but you have never taken out a loan. That means that you don't know how to pay off a loan. So that's just a cultural difference here and in because I feel like it's seen as a good thing to take out loans here or to pay things on credit. But in Sweden, it's like an opposite. So it's just a matter of like it changed like perception of like how like credit is viewed. So I think that's just something that we need to get used to, basically. I really do like this highlighter, the one that's in the palette. I'm using that one today. I do have a video on this collection in case you are interested, but yeah, I like this. I like this cheek palette and I like the cheek products. The palette is nice too, but I don't like it as much as I like the cheek things. And I think overall that goes for everything Pat McGrath. I really like the foundation, the powder, the concealer, and the cheek products. The eyeshadows are okay. They're not my favorite, but like her face and cheek products are like amazing. Like really, really good. I'm thinking I'm just gonna add a little bit more bronzer just up here. Just ever so little. I don't know if that is okay. I don't know. I need to do my brows, but brows are so boring. I bought another one. I told you I was gonna buy another one of these ABH lip liners. These are so nice. And I bought the one called Deep Taupe. I have the one that's hazelnut as well. Oh, and it's so beautiful. That is a really pretty color. Okay, this lip liner, beautiful. I love this formula. It is a beautiful formula. Don't come for me. On my birthday, I went to Sephora because I remember that I can get a birthday. I know I can get the birthday gift throughout the entire year, but I never got my Sephora gift before. So I went in actually on my birthday because my husband treated me to a taco lunch and then he bought me cake with candles on them. And we went to Sephora for the first time in a really long time. And I decided to get 2 more orange lipsticks from the Sephora Lip Stories line because the orange ones never came to Sweden. This is the one that's called Adventuring with the giraffe on it. And it is a brick orange that is a matte. I just love orange lips, and with this lip liner, beautiful. As you can see, this is more of a comfort matte. It's like a silicone matte that has a little bit of a satin, not a satin sheen, but more like a velvety sheen. Comfortable, glides on, pigmented, beautiful. 10 out of 10 would recommend this formula. What a nice, like, muted terracotta orange. Love it. Love this formula. Love this color. I actually bought another orange as well. I will have a haul soon. I will have a haul soon. I'm gonna do my brows. I bought this Rare Beauty brow duo. This is in blonde because I wanted to have like lighter brows. This color doesn't come to. Isn't it weird that the Rare Beauty brow products came to Sweden, a country where there actually is a lot of blondes, and the color blonde didn't come there? So I had to come to the US to buy the color blonde. But I did. This is the other thing that I bought inside Sephora. I bought 2 lipsticks and I bought this brow duo. I'm not using, there is a brush built into this one. I don't think that this is thin enough to use like in my brows the way that I like to do them, but I will say that in a pinch, I think it would be perfect. So if that was the brush I had, I would be able to make it work, but I prefer using, I have an ABH brush, I prefer using that one instead. So I'm actually just gonna do my brows. Brows are boring. I'm sorry if you like brows. I think I have some brow tutorials, and I'm sure I have brow tutorials on my Instagram for sure. Just brows are boring. I do link the things I use down below though, but let me do my brows and then we can do my eyeshadow. Oh, eyeshadow is actually first impression. Look at me. Okie dokie, brows are on. I want to try this one. I bought this one myself from Colourpop, and I am also going to be wearing this new quad that I bought, which is called an Emerald Away. I love the quads from Colourpop, and I want to see if this quad is the same quality. This was part of their gemstone mineral something collection, and this is the party proof eye primer, and I have mine in caramel. I also did buy the transparent one, see-through one. I don't remember the name of that one. It comes in an applicator like this, and I'm pretty sure it has, yeah, it has a doe foot. Wait, and you can like squeeze to get some product. I kind of like these doe foot with a squeeze thing. It usually works pretty good. Okay, this seems, you know what this reminds me of, and this makes me a little bit nervous. This reminds me a lot lot of the Milk Gripping Primer. Let's hope it's not the same deal, because that one was not good at all. And if this is the same, then that would be a good reason as to why nobody is talking about this. Oh, I really hope it's not the same. Let's all say a prayer together and hope that this is not that. Let's hope that this is not that. This is my suspicious face. Or are we just gonna leave this for a minute or so and then go in, or should we go in directly? Let me see what the packaging says. I love following instructions. There are none. No instructions. Okay then. Literally no instructions. Do I have to go to the website? Okay, translucent and caramel. Those are the two shades that I bought. This is a translucent eye primer that gets eyelids ready for smooth, vibrant, party-proof color infused with caffeine to prep skin for the smoothest, even eyeshadow application. Formulated with long-wearing, party-proof ingredients to keep the party going all night. Application tips. Yes, please. Apply to eyelids using the flexible flocked paddle applicator. Blend using fingertips or brush. Follow with eyeshadow application. Okay. Okay then. Then we will go straight in. I will start with the more mid-tone green here. I think I'm gonna see if I can use all the shades. I'm not gonna do something like, oh, it picks up really good. I'm still using the new Makeup Geek eye brushes. Really enjoyed them the last time I used them. I think they're really, really high quality. So I'm gonna use some of the ones that I didn't use last time today. Okay, okay. I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, because I'm honestly a very easygoing, positive person. Like I have an extremely positive like look on life. I'm the kind of person that's, the glass is always half filled. Maybe even a little bit more than half filled now that I look at it a bit more closely. Like I'm that kind of a person, and I have thoroughly been enjoying having a new home to decorate, being able to see new stuff, try new snacks, try new foods. The weather is amazing, like the sun is shining, like I'm so excited. All the people around here have been so friendly, and even when we have been so confused about like checks or like any of that kind, like people have been so kind and friendly. Our neighbors are so sweet. Our neighbor across the street has the cutest dogs that are so sweet to Tesla. They play along so good. So I am not here complaining. We have really been lucky with our home and our neighbors and the amenities that we have around us. It's been so great, and yeah, I am definitely not complaining. This is just me mentioning some things that have been a little bit new and a little bit like not bad or wrong, just different, and something that we need to get used to. Something that has been like the first, like, I don't want to say culture shock, but like the first thing that we like encountered when we came to the US that was like, huh? Is you have different size of beds and bedding. And we were so confused. We're like, why is a twin bed not for two people? Isn't twin two? And like the queen and the king, and like then there's like, oh, this many inches, and we're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So we actually bought, we didn't buy a bed frame yet. We only bought a mattress, but we bought it in queen. And a queen bed is, if you're living in Sweden, a queen bed is a little smaller than a 160 centimeter bed. So, and we had that in Sweden, so we were like, this is fine. This is gonna be fine. But we were so confused. We were so confused. And even at IKEA, they're still like, of course, selling stuff in the American like sizes, and we're like, what is a twin? What is a queen? And we had the best staff member helping us, and she was so sweet, and we were laughing about our confusion, and like, yeah, she was so sweet. And we were actually talking about, I was like, do you ever meet Swedes like us that like when you say the things in IKEA, like you're not saying it correctly in Swedish, do they say anything? And she actually told me that they have some Swedes that work at IKEA in Austin that sometimes corrects them, and I thought that that was the coolest. I didn't meet any of the Swedes at IKEA, but I thought that that was the coolest, because like obviously, I mean, I'm not saying this to be like you know, like a know-it-all or a besserwisser, but of course, like, the way that Americans are pronouncing IKEA furniture is all wrong. Like, it's Swedish names. Obviously, there's gonna be like an accent to it or like a mispronunciation, especially since the Swedish alphabet has letters, O, Ä, Ö, that's not even present in the US alphabet. Of course, that's gonna be different. Like the shelf that I have here in my beauty room, if you watch my room, like our house tour on my vlog channel, you would have seen it. It's called Bestå. And it literally has the O, the letter that doesn't even exist in the English language. So I like it, but like getting beds and getting bedding has been, it was I don't want to say a struggle, but it did take us a couple of extra turns of thinking like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Another thing that's been really confusing, and I like put it on my Twitter, is that you don't have like those plastic butter knives to like spread butter on your sandwiches. And like a lot of people told me on Twitter that like putting butter on a sandwich is not like really a thing in the US, because in Sweden like everyone puts butter on bread or on sandwiches. Someone said they put ketchup on sandwiches, and like to me that's a punishment. I don't even own ketchup, and I don't think I've ever owned ketchup since I moved away from home, and I moved away from home when I was 16. Like, I don't put ketchup on anything. I don't think it's like a really nice spice or condiment. Or like I don't approve of ketchup, let's just put it like that. I think that this looks pretty nice. This is like a first color. I can just even it out a bit more afterwards. But like at IKEA, you usually can buy like really affordable, like 10 packs or 6 packs of like butter knives in plastic. And they didn't have it at IKEA. And we were like, huh, this is the sign, isn't it? I couldn't even find like good ones at Amazon. I could find some, but they were either not plastic, because the plastic ones are great, but because they're a little like bendy and they're easily like cleanable and stuff like that. But they were like literally butter knives on like Amazon. They're like $8 for 2. And I was like, what are these? Like, are they filled with gold? So yeah, we're probably gonna ask like our parents or friends to send us some kind of a care package in the future. And I literally already told my mom, I'm like, butter knives. I'm gonna need butter knives, okay? I did some of the colors under my eyes as well, and I will say the way that this shadow goes on the primer does remind me a little bit of the Milk primer. I don't like this primer. I think it is a little too slippy. It doesn't really grip onto your shadow. It might elongate your makeup, and it does make blending easy, because I was able to blend out this mid-tone green without the transition color somewhat seamless, and I think that is an achievement. That is a good thing. But it doesn't make your eyeshadows pop, and it definitely doesn't like, it doesn't do what I want a primer to do, and that is to make the colors pop, to make them like just be their best. I feel like this kind of a slippy primer that feels a little bit more silicone-y, I feel like it makes the shadows look less pigmented. It doesn't give them that like, I don't know, that like pop and like that amazing like opaqueness that a really good eye primer does. And I feel just by like how these worked under the eyes where I didn't have the primer, they worked better without a primer than they did on. Just looking at like how opaque they were and how nice they layered. Like you can see under my eyes, they look really good. So yeah, this primer really isn't for me, and I totally understand why people aren't talking about this primer. And I feel like sometimes when people get stuff in PR that they don't like from brands that they love, I didn't get this in PR, I feel like sometimes people are afraid to say like, you know what, this sucks. I didn't hear a single person talk about this eye primer. Not a single person talked about this party proof eye primer, and I should have known that the reason is that it's not good. And it's not good. If you do very easy like one color, two colored looks, and you think that the hardest part about makeup is to blend your eyeshadows, then I would recommend this one or the Milk one, because it is a little bit slippy. It will make blending your eyeshadows a little bit easy. It won't make your eyeshadows pop though. So if you're like me and you want your eyeshadows to be as opaque and as poppy as possible, this isn't the primer that I would recommend for you. But I am just gonna try and build this up as much as I can on this primer. I do think that the quality of the eyeshadows is good though, but I am just gonna, I don't know, build this up as much as I can, and we can just pop on some shimmers. And I also brought out the Mint to Be because I want to do a matte inner corner. I have been crazy about matte inner corners. It is my jam because I feel like I have extra folds in here and I don't need to be accentuating that with shimmers, at least not on a daily basis. I'm just gonna slap these shimmers on, and I guess that's gonna be like the look. Another thing that I've really been appreciating moving here, because like me and Ricardo, we're not the kind of person that are like, we're not the kind of people, my god, grammar, out the window. We're not the kind of people that are like, maybe always doing stuff at the time that you should be doing stuff. Like, we could be the type of people that at like 9 o'clock at the evening, we're like, you know what we would like? I would like to buy a toaster. I'm saying this because it happened. And I appreciate that there are long opening hours here in the US. Even not only for groceries, because like grocery stores in Sweden are open until 10 as well, but no other stores are. And here, a lot of stores are open a bit longer. And I appreciate that. Not because I'm like, I want to be shopping at every time of the hour. Not like that, but more like not everyone is able to quit their job at 4 and be able to go and do everything, and not everyone is free on the weekends and are able to like get like shopping or errands done at the weekend. So I'm really appreciating the long opening hours, because like my husband is in research and sometimes he'll come home later because they had a late meeting or they were in the lab or stuff like that. And I appreciate that there are more flexible opening hours here that enables us to be able to do stuff without having to plan too long in advance. Because sometimes in Sweden, when we needed to do stuff, we had to literally like plan ahead, because we're like, oh, the store closes 5, and even on weekends like they were closing 4, and we had to like literally like make a point out of this weekend we need to go to the store, otherwise it will never happen, like blah 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 blah. Like, we don't have to do that here, and that's been really convenient, I will say. Really convenient. Me and Ricardo have never been the drive-through people. Like, we don't like really, we don't want to do drive-through. Like, we want to go in and we want to eat, and you can't really do that here. No restaurants are open for eating in. Like, you have to do the drive-through. And I will say, I don't really appreciate that. Like, I don't want to do the drive-through. And I think the main thing is that we don't know the menu. I don't know, like, we're trying some fast food places. Tell me your favorite fast food place, by the way, because we're in the market. We did try Taco Bell, and you know what? I think so far that one might be my favorite. We want to go back and try it again. But like, I know us that we have been in like the queue for a fast food place in like drive-through, and they've basically been like, hi, what would you like to get? And we basically had to tell them, you know what? Give us a minute. We need to look at the menu, because we've never seen the menu. And I told Ricardo that we need to be the people that check the menu online. We need to be the people that check the menu online so that we know when we get there, because like we've never been to these places. So we don't know what they have. And in a drive-through, like they're literally like, hi, what do you want to get? And you can't look at the menu until you're actually at the place where you order. And I hate like holding up like the line. So we're like just picking the first thing we see. We're like, cheese quesadillas and a drink and a menu and oh my lord. Yeah, it's I don't particularly love drive-throughs anyways. I think also like because our house is pretty empty, we don't have a TV yet. It's like, what are we gonna do? Gonna go home and like eat it in our empty kitchen? Like, it's like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense for us, but it's not been ideal. Let me put it like that. I'm really looking forward to us getting a TV. I want to watch the new season of Emily in Paris. I want to watch the Boba Fett show. I am so looking forward to Bridgerton season 2. I want to watch just like that. There are so many, and like The Expanse. Everything else everything else can drop out of the face of the earth, the new season of Expanse, we haven't been able to see it because we don't have a TV and we don't want to be on like a laptop or sit in front of the computer. Like we want to be in the couch. So yeah, we have so much stuff to look forward to once we get a TV. Oh my lord. We have actually decided that we're gonna get a TV in February because we've been looking like what do we want to get. I still don't like this primer, but yeah. So looking forward to getting a TV. We haven't really found a, like, I don't want to call it a stand, but you know, like the furniture that you put the TV on, like the media furniture. Do you have any suggestions of places to get cute of those? Because we haven't really found one yet that we really love. Oh, let me actually use, I brought out, this is really small though. Maybe I shouldn't be using that one. Maybe I'll use this one instead. I brought out the Mint to Be, like I said, and I think I will be using, yeah, I'll use the one in the corner here. The one that is called Get Fresh. And I am going to be using that as my inner corner. I, like I said, am absolutely in love with matte inner corners, especially like either white or beige or pastels like this. I don't know. If you haven't tried a matte inner corner highlight, this is your friendly reminder that today is the day. Today is the day to do a matte inner corner highlight. You can thank me later. I just love that. So yeah, I am gonna finish this up. I'm gonna finish this up. I'll put something mint in my waterline as well. I have used all the things that I brought out here, right? Yeah. Let me finish this up and we can see how I'm gonna look for the rest of the day. I decided to not put any lashes on. I like wearing no lashes as well. I love lashes. I love no lashes. I love all of it, but I'm getting used to this new mascara, the Rare Beauty mascara, and I like it. It doesn't lift or like elongate as much as I want to, but it really does thicken them up and like defines them for sure. There are other mascaras I prefer, but I like this look without lashes as well. I think it looks really good. I also did end up using this liner. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Eyeliner in Dragon, which is a green one, and I used this in the waterline, and it worked perfectly fine. It has a bit of a sheen to it. It is definitely not like a glittery liner, so you won't get any like particles. I don't know if you heard the dog, but you won't get any like particles in your eyes. But I thought that this one worked out really good. So yeah, I'm excited about the look. I'm excited about all of this. I will try, I don't know if that one is already filmed when this one is going up, but I will also have like a Q&A because I realized that the things that I'm touching on in this video might not necessarily be the things that you're actually interested in. So there will be a Texas Q&A coming soon with like the questions that you had. If you're ever wondering like where do you get to like ask me questions like when I do videos like this, it's primarily on Instagram, so don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. I do always have in the description box everything that you need to know, like my Instagram, my Twitter, my merch, my vlog channel, all the things that I'm wearing on my face is going to be in the description box, so don't forget to check there if there's anything that you are wondering about. I am gonna go off and I'm gonna edit a video. I'm gonna walk the dog. The weather is beautiful outside and I am thriving. It is like in Sweden, this weather would be like spring about to be summer, and here they're like, oh, it's winter, and I'm like, I'm living for it. Let's see how much I like the warmth though, because I don't hate the warmth. I really like being warm. I prefer being warm over being cold. I know some people are like, oh, if I have to be warm or cold, I'd prefer cold and put on a sweater. Me and Ricardo are the absolute opposite. I'd always prefer being warm over being too cold. But that's just me, so we'll see how I feel about it. I mean, we are thriving when we are visiting the Mediterranean area, and there is like less humidity there, but it's not like it's a dry heat either. So we're not too worried about the heat, but we'll see how I feel about it once summer comes. But so far, we are pretty much thriving. Don't forget to subscribe though, because I will have a video. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I am uploading one video less a week during February because it's been a really busy time. But don't forget to subscribe though, because there is a video coming real soon. Bye!